Was he thrown in the garbage truck? Was he shot? There's one thing we know. He ain't coming to dinner tomorrow night, okay? You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be showing up, you know, for the Red Sox game next Tuesday, you know, so it doesn't make any difference, you know, because in that world you never know, and that's sort of the point. And I mean, to make a movie that long that rests on that kind of puzzle and then leave the audience consciously so frustrated and yet challenging them to admit that they know what the answer is, even if they think they don't know, is just astounding. I mean, the level of difficulty that he tried to achieve in that movie, that he aspired to and did achieve, it's extraordinary. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And forget that I'm in it. I mean, I wish I weren't in it so I could say it more fervently. I mean, it's an absolute masterwork of cinema. There's no doubt about it. A few weeks before it came out, they decided to use the assistant editor of Police Academy or something, you know, to chop it all up and tell it in linear fashion, which is the whole point of how the story was made, was that it's not in linear fashion. I mean, it was the telling of the story that made it such an extraordinary film. And I remember it was a huge disappointment to me and so on. And Sergio had been so great. And, you know, when we were at the Cannes Film Festival, where it had its world premiere, you know, the reviews and the response was so astounding. I remember one article that said, headline said, you know, filmmakers cast your films into the sea. Leone is here with Once Upon, you know, it's like, because it was like that. I mean, it just got this 15-minute standing ovation and then was butchered, and I thought it must have broken his heart. Sheila Benson at the time voted it the worst movie of the year, and then 8 years later voted it the best movie of the decade, which I thought was really interesting. The best movie being Sergio's own cut, the worst movie being, of course, the cut that the studio released. You know, on my deathbed, you know, and somebody says, you know, what was the greatest artistic experience you ever had? It was working with Sergio Leone. There's no doubt about it. It was the Everest of my life, you know. And I never got a chance to tell him that because I was too young or confused or too shy to call him up and sort of say it, you know, and so on. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this interview is to sort of say it so somebody in the world could hear it.